Hey friends! Welcome to our third week of art class for the spring semester for kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. I'm so glad that you are here and I'm excited to do some artwork with you. Since this Monday is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we are going to be listening to a short story about him. We're also going to be thinking about what he stood for. Now, if you don't know who Dr. Martin Luther King is, he is a very important person in our history. He believed that people should not be judged by the way they look or the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now, those are some big words, right? But that basically means he thinks that what matters is what is on the inside, what's inside of your heart, right? And so we're going to be thinking about what is inside of us, how we are special, and what makes us unique. The art skill we're working on this week is called emphasis. Everyone say emphasis. To emphasize something means to make it stand out. Just like how this umbrella stands out next to all the others. What makes it stand out? It's because it's a different color, right? That is called contrast. Everyone say contrast. We are going to be using contrast to make things stand out. So just like how the umbrellas around this one are dark, but this one is the one our eyes are drawn to because it's bright, we are going to use contrast in our pictures to emphasize our hearts. All right, we are going to start by drawing a heart. And the way we are going to do that is by starting with a curvy letter M. So I'm going to do a great big curve and another great big curve for that letter M. Once you've drawn those curves for your letter M, we are going to do a big letter V on the bottom. So I'm going to do one line down and another line down. That is a great way to draw a heart. Another great trick to draw a heart is with two candy canes. So you can do one curve like a rainbow and then a straight line. Then another curve like a rainbow and then a straight line. So once we have our heart, we want to find a way to emphasize it. So I'm going to pick a color, and that is the color that I'm going to use to make a really thick border for my heart. So I think I want to use the color blue. I'm going to start by doing a nice outline. I'm going to be careful just to stay on the outside of my heart. Just making a nice outline, and I'm pressing nice and hard. Once I've made my outline, I'm going to press really lightly and then just color a really light outline around my first one. See how it's starting to get lighter? The first time I pressed really hard, and now I'm pressing really softly. So my heart is starting to look like it's glowing. Do you guys see that? Kind of cool, huh? And the further away I press softer and softer until I'm hardly touching my paper at all. And you can't even see what my crayon's doing anymore. All right. So here's what we're going to do, friends. On the inside of our heart, we're going to be colorful and wild, and we are going to show what we think is inside of us. what makes us special and unique. And then on the outside, you can do whatever kinds of designs you want, but what I'm looking for is that we are emphasizing our heart. So on the outside, you can draw whatever you want. You can draw yourself, what you look like on the outside, but we're going to keep it nice and black and white, and I'll show you how to do that. On the inside of our heart, no matter what you draw, we're going to make it colorful. That way, the inside of the heart contrasts with the outside. I'll show you what I mean. So for the inside of my heart, I'm going to draw a smiley face because I like to smile and I like to try to be kind. And it makes me happy when the people around me are happy. So I like to try to make them happy too. I'm also going to draw a little heart around my family because I love them. I'm going to draw my husband and my 2 kids because I love them and they are always a big part of my heart. All right. I also love art, so I'm going to add a paintbrush. Reading is really special to me in my faith, so I'm going to add a book to symbolize that. Believe it or not, I can be shy sometimes. So that's another thing that makes me unique on the inside. So I'm going to draw myself looking a little nervous because I can feel shy sometimes. Another thing that makes me unique is that I am very passionate. So I think I'll draw a picture of an arm being strong. I can't wait to see what you guys draw to tell me more about yourselves. What are you like on the inside? While I work on coloring and adding details to my heart, let's listen to a story about Martin Luther King.
The story of Martin Luther King Jr. Every January, we celebrate the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. Do you know why we remember him? Martin was born in 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. His father was a preacher. His mother was a school teacher. Martin liked to go to school. He always did more than his teachers asked him to do. Martin's school was old. It needed a lot of fixing, but the school for the white children was new. Martin and his mom and dad liked to eat out, but some restaurants would not serve them. Martin could not drink from all the water fountains. He had to find one with a sign that read colored. This made Martin angry. He wanted to go to the best school. He wanted to eat at any restaurant, and he wanted to drink from any water fountain. When Martin grew up, he became a preacher. One day, he spoke to more than 200,000 people. Martin said, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will not be judged by the color of their skin." Martin made his dream come true. Now we can all eat in any restaurant, drink from any water fountain, go to any school, and dream our dreams just like Martin Luther King Jr.
What do you guys think of that story? Isn't that crazy that it really happened? Yeah. So it's so good to remember that when we're talking to each other and when we're playing with each other, it doesn't matter what someone looks like. What matters is on the inside of their hearts. Something else that's important to remember about Dr. Martin Luther King is that when he saw that something was happening that was not fair, he spoke up and he stood for what was right. So, if you ever see something that's not fair or someone's feeling left out, you should speak up. Be brave because we are all valuable, right? You guys are all so special and you have a voice and what you think matters. So let's look at your hearts. I'd love to see what you have added to them. Now that my artwork is finished, you guys can really see the contrast, right? The outside of my picture is happy, but it's still not very colorful, right? But on the inside of my heart, it's emphasized, right? Because it's so bright. I can't wait to see what you guys include in your hearts. Here's today's art objectives. Number 1, I can practice drawing a heart using straight and curved lines. I can add at least 5 details inside my heart. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and more. Number 2, I can make my heart have contrast and create emphasis by carefully coloring the inside. En español, número 1. Yo puedo practicar dibujando un corazón usando líneas rectas y curvas. Yo puedo agregar al menos 5 detalles dentro de mi corazón. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 y más. Número 2. Yo puedo hacer que mi corazón tenga contraste y crear énfasis, coloreando cuidadosamente el interior de mi corazón. The read aloud that we listened to is from another first grade teacher's lesson playlist here in YouTube, and I will add a link to that original video.